No, I'm the blue fairy.
No, I'm the blue fairy.
Oh, I see what the problem is here.
Think you know all the places to catch Pinocchio outside of the original Disney film? Number 1. Keep your eyes peeled, this one flies by fast. When Rapunzel shows up to the snuggly duckling in Tangled, she expects to encounter some threatening, rugged outlaws, and instead basically walks into a musical theater cast party. During the song I've Got a Dream, while the ruffians sing about their wholesome aspirations, Cupid takes flight and does a full circle around the crowded room. As the goofy old angel of love swoops past the stairway, you can see a wooden puppet Pinocchio hanging out in the rafters in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If he were joining the song, we bet we know what he would dream of becoming.
A real boy!
Number 2. Buongiorno. Did you know the original Pinocchio story comes from an Italian fairy tale? The folks at Pixar definitely did. When they made Luca, the studio's first film set in Italy, they included a dream sequence where Luca flies over Pinocchio skipping down the road with the cat and the fox, just like he does in the Disney film. You can also see the cover of the original Italian book by Carlo Collodi in Giulia's room. And if you look closely, you'll see a collapsible thumb puppet Pinocchio on Giulia's shelf. So many little Italian touches. Molto bene, benissimo. Number 3. Sweet Louise, this place is bonkers. This scene from Ralph Breaks the Internet is a Disney lover's dream because it's absolutely packed with Easter eggs. It's not just references to Disney and Pixar. We get the whole Disney universe, from Star Wars to Marvel. There's even an iconic Stan Lee cameo. R.I.P. Cameo King. With so much visual stimulation, the Pinocchio reference can be easy to miss, but we promise it's there. The animation reel around Mickey's sorcerer's hat features cells from classic Disney films. And right up at the top, you can spot our little wooden head. Number 4. Hey now, this one's an all-star. Pinocchio appearances aren't limited to Disney and Pixar. Do you know where else he is?
Well, I don't know where he's not.
Duh. We can all agree that the most famous portrayal of the wooden boy outside the original film is in the Shrek movies. While this character often feels like a departure from the earnest Disney puppet, the animators clearly drew inspiration from the 1940s film when adding leaves to Pinocchio's growing nose. We can't not claim that we don't love this version of Pinocchio. Number 5. You ain't never had a friend like him. Robin Williams was a voiceover superstar, and his brilliant impressions as the Genie gave the animators endless opportunities to add cameos to Disney's Aladdin. At one point when he talks about lying, the Genie's head fully transforms into Pinocchio's. Many of the Genie's impressions were completely ad-libbed by Williams in the recording booth, so a lot of them are slightly cringy, outdated celebrity references now.
I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug.
But we have to admit, the Pinocchio cameo is timeless. Number 6. This one's a whale of a tale.
Dory.
When Marlin and Dory get swallowed by the whale in Finding Nemo, the scene looks a lot like Pinocchio's run-in with Monstro. The other fish making their getaway, the ominous streams of bubbles, even the angle the giant whale mouth approaches from all feel like clear references to this memorable scene from Pinocchio. Now, is the whale really the same? Is he even named Monstro? Well, how should we know? We don't speak whale.
Thank you, sir.
Number 7. Adventure is out there. In Pixar's Up, Carl exclaims,
Jiminy Cricket.
when he makes his way onto Charles Muntz's ship, the Spirit of Adventure. The expression Jiminy Cricket was around long before Disney made Pinocchio. But did you know that it was Disney that decided to turn that common phrase into the name for the talking cricket? He didn't actually have a name in the original book. Since Disney made that choice, it's been impossible to imagine this phrase referring to anyone else but that dedicated little conscience.
You my conscience?
Who, me?
Number 8. Surf's Up. When Disney marketed Lilo and Stitch, they included references to other Disney films to get audiences hyped that unlike the upstanding, virtuous Disney characters of the past, Stitch was going to be much more unruly and destructive. The trailer uses an animated sequence from The Lion King where Rafiki holds up Stitch instead of Simba during the Circle of Life, and the movie's poster features several classic Disney characters, including Pinocchio looking skeptically at the chaotic blue alien. Don't you just love to see the whole Ohana together in one place? Number 9. Avengers Assemble. We know Disney and Pixar love to include references to animated classics, but Marvel? When the good-turned-evil artificial intelligence Ultron becomes a humanoid robot, he turns one of Pinocchio's charming lyrics into a super creepy warning about his limitless power.
I had strings, but now I'm free.
Ultron even sings lines from Pinocchio's Stromboli performance. Maybe the AI supervillain should have gone into regional theater instead of global annihilation. Number 10. You'll need to squint for this one. In Saving Mr. Banks, Walt Disney tries to convince P.L. Travers to let him make Mary Poppins into a movie. One of his attempts to win her over is to take her to Disneyland. When they ride the carousel, you can spot a poster for the ride Pinocchio's Daring Journey in the background. Not to be too nitpicky, but this isn't an Easter egg so much as an oversight. The film takes place in 1961, but they decided to shoot these scenes on location at the real Disneyland in 2012. They did their best to recreate the 1960s Disneyland, but they left in this appearance of the Pinocchio ride, which wasn't built until the 1980s.
Damn.
Number 11. Little sidekicks are often the best part of Disney movies. Jiminy Cricket is one of the most memorable tiny sidekicks of all time. He always knows the right thing to do, even if Pinocchio doesn't listen to his advice. It's no wonder then that he's served as an inspiration for future Disney buddies, especially ones that are there to remind main characters what they should be doing when their judgment starts to slide. That's why Jiminy Cricket was in the back of the animators' minds when they developed Mini Maui. Maui is a larger-than-life character in Moana. He's a demigod covered in meaningful tattoos, and he tends to let his ego run the show. One of his tattoos, Mini Maui, comes to life and communicates, often to balance out Maui's bragging and selfish plans. Did you notice the similarities between Mini Maui and Jiminy Cricket? Well, if not, what can we say except, you're welcome! Number 12. This one is a little morbid. In the Mickey Mouse cartoon Flushed, Mickey gets swallowed by Monstro the whale just like Pinocchio and Geppetto. While we know Pinocchio eventually made it out with his clever fire-building sneeze-inducing scheme, this cartoon tells a different story by including a skull inside Monstro that unmistakably belongs to our pal Pinocchio. Disney's not afraid to go for the dark humor, and we're here for it. Number 13. Let's take a journey to the past. Jiminy Cricket went on to have quite the acting career with Disney Studios. The dapper invertebrate has played several roles in other Disney films and TV shows. He was usually a host or a narrator, often for Disney's more boring, educational cartoons. But that doesn't mean all of his post-Pinocchio work was forgettable. The most memorable of the celeb insects appearances was in Mickey's A Christmas Carol.
I'm the ghost of Christmas past.
This was the perfect role for the cheerful bug, since what Scrooge needed more than anything was to get back in touch with his conscience. Number 14. Now things are getting loony. If you're looking for animation references galore, there's no better movie than Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The film blends live action with animation, and the final sequence depicts tons of classic Disney characters. The toons gather to speculate about the villain's true identity while hovering over his dead body. Okay, maybe Disney's been going dark for a while. Pinocchio is front and center with Mickey and Minnie, and he even gets his own line.
Poor little wooden boy.
Number 15. Get out your notebooks. Teacher's Pet gives us almost a shot-for-shot Pinocchio recreation in the opening scene. The animation style is obviously incredibly different, but it has tons of details from the original 1940s film, including the overture music that starts when we see the Magic Castle logo. The trailer even uses the scene as a fake-out to make the audience think Disney was remaking Pinocchio. Of course, it's actually taken 18 more years for a Disney Pinocchio remake to be produced, but we're hoping the Keegan-Michael Key performance of the fox makes it worth the wait. Did any of these cameos surprise you? Tell us in the comments if you found Pinocchio hiding anywhere else that we missed. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more scavenger hunts across the Disney universe. Thanks for joining us.